YouTube and the Tribe of the Horror Realm. It's Chris and Teresa, and we're doing our quick overview of the most recent Chiller Theater Convention that was held in Parsippany, New Jersey. Not that we're the best ones to give the true overview, because we were only there total of 4 hours. Took us longer to get down one way than we were there. But Chiller, if you are not familiar, is a long-standing convention that has really branched out into being a lot more of a pop culture convention, ranging from musicians to mainstream comedy, television, and horror. And their guests range from Raging Bull actress Cathy Moriarty to Bond girls to the Boondock Saints to Dean Cain, people from the Sons of Anarchy,
John Astin from the Answers,
Linda Blair. I mean, it was a smorgasbord of different people. Now, we only went down for a select few people, but from our experience, it's really crowded. We went on a Saturday, which any convention is going to be packed. But this one is a little chaotic because they got it all over the place, different rooms for different people, and it's really narrow. So sometimes it's hard to enter and exit just because of how many people are there.
It's a little confusing too.
But while we were there, we got let's just get into who we met and what we got signed. We went and met William Ostrander at the Hunt Valley show, the Monster Mania. This one we got to see Malcolm Denari, who signed our 1117 Christine poster. He, of course, played Moochie, the cohort for Buddy Repperton. So we got both bullies already on this piece. We both are big fans of the movie Christine, and we're looking forward to hopefully meeting more of the cast and adding to them. It was really cool to be able to get some feedback from Malcolm about destroying the beautiful Plymouth Fury in the garage scene, and he did say actually he did get hurt. He wasn't wearing gloves when he smashed the window, and some glass got between his hand and the handle of the sledgehammer he had, so he got cut up pretty bad. And he said that his death scene when he's being chased by Christine took over a week and a half to film, and so it was very exhausting, a lot of running and redoing the scene over and over. The other gentleman that we went to see, I brought this to get signed. Now, years ago, I used to get DVDs signed. I don't know, it's just not my thing. So I stopped doing it, and this is the only thing I keep getting worked on because I've got a good many, signatures on here. So this is probably the only thing that's DVD related that I still get signed. In this case, really new to the convention circuit, we got Paul Musser, who signed this plaid shirt zombie. Of course, you're familiar with him. He's the cover boy for Dawn of the Dead. And he told us that he had just recently learned about these conventions and that he never knew about them before. In fact, it wasn't until a few weeks ago that he finally actually saw the finished product of Dawn of the Dead, because it's not his cup of tea. He's not a big horror movie fan. He likes a lot more sci-fi stuff. He watches a lot of stuff he grew up with, like Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, and he's a big fan of the Alfred Hitchcock films. But he was pretty much just at a place. They saw him, they liked his look. He was a musician, and they sent him to Wardrobe, and he said he just went out, did his thing, and that was it, and didn't know that people really wanted to meet him all these years later. So
he said he was pleased with the performance in the film.
hard to take a shot to the head and die.
I know, but he said he liked what he did.
It was an experience, I'm sure. Anybody would be thinking it was kind of cool to be a zombie for the day. But it was cool to meet another member from such a legendary film. Speaking of legendary, one of the other celebrities that we met, and it was probably the longest line we waited in, too.
It was such a treat.
Teresa and I are both huge fans, of course, of classic horror films, the Universals, Hammers, and of course, for years, horror hosts have been the champions of keeping these films in the public eye, ranging from public domain titles that really bad B films, where they're pretty much the saving grace of getting people to watch these things, and sometimes the entertaining horror host that keeps you watching it. Now, the godfather for all horror hosts is a gentleman named John Zachary, who started out with a character in the 50s called Roland, who later just became Zachary. And, he's been around since the dawn of horror hosting. Mainly in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area with Chiller Theater. And he was in attendance, and we got to meet him. We got a picture signed by him. He wrote to Chris and Teresa from Zachary, and then he wrote, "Good luck in the next life." Now, when he's 93 years old, you're not always with it. But he seemed to really enjoy meeting a lot of fans, especially a lot of the young ones. And when we got a picture taken with him, I got a chance to ask him this. I'm sure you've been asked this 100 times, but of all the classic movies, what was your favorite film? And it was like, the minute I said it, it's like, boom, sharp as a tack. He started going, well, that would be The Son of Frankenstein. That's the one. Who's Frankenstein? Basil Rathbone. He just started getting into it. You just knew this guy loved these movies. And, even at 93, the minute you started bringing up those old films, he's back to being 23 or 13 again, and just quick as a whip. And it was such an honor, a distinct honor to meet John Zachary.
A lot of hearing, but you could see in his eyes that he loves horror movies.
What? Another gentleman we got to see, now everyone has probably seen our Friday the 13th alumni death poster back there. We had a chance to meet Boyd Banks, who has been a genre actor. He's been in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Bruiser, and he was in Jason X. He played the pilot Fat Lou, who was beheaded by Jason. Albeit off screen, but we saw the bloody carnage afterwards, so we were able to get Boyd to add his signature to our alumni poster. Now, the big reason we went down to Chiller was to meet I will. A gentleman by the name of Ted White, also known as Jason from Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. Ted I've just not crossed paths with Ted in the years of doing these conventions. And of course, we have the machete that is signed by the various Jasons. And Ted added his signature right here. Ted White, Jason from 4FC. Also, we had to add him to, of course, our wedding picture. And Ted signed right here. Ted White, the best to all. And you would think with all this real estate he would have signed right up here. But he went pretty close to where Steve Dash had signed. So we only have two more that we really want to get in here. Is of course C.J. Graham. We need to get him on here as well as Tom Morga. So we're really pushing for Morga to have a big signature because I know C.J. is pretty small. But he was pretty taken aback by the picture. He was really surprised with it, and just had a great laugh looking. He's like amazed. He started showing other guests. Like, did you see that picture? Wow. He was such a gentleman, really great guy to chat with. Real sweet guy. Um, he was charging for photo ops, which is, some do, but his reasoning for it, and he had it plain as day right there, was the photo op was going to be donated to helping war veterans. So how do you not want to throw money towards that? So he was there also trying to raise money for a good cause. So it was great to meet Ted. And of course, while we were there, we were able to see a lot of regular friends that are all around the circuit, various promoters that we've gotten to know, the agents that we've gotten to know over the years that are great to chat with, and folks like artist Joel Robinson, a good friend of ours, incredible artist. If you haven't seen him, artpusher.net. Joel is amazing, amazing artist.
He has a lot of talent.
Of course, another one was Christy Jett, who is writes for Horror Hound. You've seen her at Fright Rags. I always call her the Duchess of Horror because she's She's got a little on everything, and she's working on trying to get the movie Popcorn out there, as well as helping out getting Before the Mask as well. And just a wonderful lady, and it's always a thrill to be able to see Christy.
We always love to see Christy.
Now while we were there, we took a spin through the dealer room. Really congested, narrow aisles. If you are someone's talking to a vendor at his table, it is just tough traffic getting through there. It's so narrow, they're just jamming them in. And it's very frustrating. But while we're there for a change, usually when we're there, I'm the one that's like, oh, I want to get this, I want to buy that, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. This time, it was Teresa. Good for you, honey. What did you pick up?
If you guys know me, I love Minions. I collect these guys. And this is the biggest Minion I ever seen. So, of course, I had to get them. So, that was my first buy. So cute. And then I bought this movie, The Island. Now, Chris has some movie posters of this movie, and I always wanted to see it, but it was never printed or released.
Oh, it was in Region 1. It's been released in Laserdisc, and it's been released on VHS. It has never gotten a DVD release in Region 1. However, 13th Wolfman has mentioned that he believes that it does have at least a German release, and I think potentially maybe the UK one, but I know there was a German DVD release. But so that was basically an unofficial release from whatever source.
It was bootleg, so we didn't know how good the print was or the quality, so they let us look at it while we were there, and it looked okay, so we brought it home.
Yep. So she'll finally be able to see the island. See, like, why do you have so many of these damn posters from different countries? So that was about it. It was about, with party breaks on the road, about just under 5 hours down, 5 hours back, and only $5 in tolls. Definitely not our favorite convention. We're still probably Monster Mania people at heart, but for the amount of time to get down there and back, and I think if we did it again, I'd definitely go on a Friday. avoid as many people as possible.
It's kind of busy going down there too. The traffic was a little horrendous. I know, but it was still stopping over there for a while.
Gotta go through New York. Everything stops around
I
New
know,
York.
but I hate going to New York. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not a bad one if you're into a lot of pop culture. That's a show definitely you'd want to take into. But if they come out with a unique guest that we must have, we will definitely go back. But for now, we're gonna sit in hibernation the rest of the summer until the end of the summer and Monster Mania rolls around again. So
So we'll see you there. If any of you decide to go.
yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot more for our YouTube horror community luncheon or dinner that we do. That we're starting to do. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care, everyone.
Bye.